Yo, what's good? How's it going? Look, I'm glad you're here. My name is Albert Williams III, and welcome back to the Uncommon Legend Experience. And once again, today we have a guest, and we have my boy Jimmie Roper. Jimmy, just kind of introduce yourself, who you are, what you do, what you like to do, all the things.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So again, my name is Jimmie Roper, and I am currently a pastor in Georgetown, Kentucky, originally from Detroit, Michigan. Born and raised there, man. Came to Kentucky to play basketball, and been here since 2012. That's where I met my wife. Had plans on going back to Detroit to be back home, but fell in love and she trapped me here. So here I
Hey,
am.
man,
Here I
that's how it
am.
be.
Yeah, that's how it be. Yeah, man. So we got two biological kids, and then we have an adopted daughter. And with that adoption came a son as well. She had a son as well, so we became parents and grandparents all in one day. And so yeah, yeah, man, that's where I'm at. Been in ministry now going on 11 years, 10 years,
Yeah,
10 years, going on 10 years, man. So
man.
I've been married for 9, and yeah, man, life be lifing. So
Yeah,
yeah,
facts. Life do be lifing on a regular.
right, right,
Man, that's awesome, man. Well, good deal. Well, look, I'm glad to have you here. I've known Jimmy here. I've known him through my mentor Eric, because Eric and Jimmy were around each other in seminary and in Kentucky.
yeah.
And so with that, I've kind of known Jimmy, and then I actually got to meet you for the first time. Was it
I
this
know,
year?
man.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
this
yeah,
year. It was
yeah,
this year.
yeah, yeah.
Like
This
the
past
year's
summer.
gone by so fast that I feel like it's the next year. Like
Yeah,
it's so much has happened. But yeah, got to meet you earlier this year, and just your
yeah.
story I think is just really awesome, and I think it'd be really good for just people to know about that and to hear about it. So I guess probably the first question is why did you choose ministry? I guess like what did that look like for you? Because obviously basketball player and me being a former college athlete myself, you have these big dreams, aspirations that,
Yeah,
you want to go do this thing, but then now you go, but wait, now I feel this tug, this call. Like,
yeah,
how did that come about?
yeah, man. Man, it's crazy. I feel like this story kind of follows a lot of people's story, but I was called when I was 14 years old. Man, I was at a
Mm,
youth conference. Well, it was kind of like a revival. Back in the day, it was everything was revival. There was no
yeah.
conferences, right? So it was
Yeah.
like we had this 3-day youth revival, man, at the church, and I was sitting there back in the back with my friends. I was cracking up, just joking around with my friends, and my mom, she was there as well. So, but she was up front, and man, out of nowhere, this pastor, as he was preaching, man, he just stopped in the middle of his sermon, and everybody just kind of like paused and like looked around, and then he pointed at me, and I was just like, "What in the world?" And he's like, "Hey, young man, come up to the front." And I was just like, "Okay, like." I don't
Wow.
know what this is, bro. And I'm like, and so like I'm like freaking out. And so I'm like walking down this aisle that normally takes 2 seconds to get up there. And it felt like it was 30 minutes. Like
Feet
just
made
walking
of
because I'm
lead.
just walking in cement, bro. Like that's just what it felt like, man. So I got up there, man, and man, he turned me around and asked if my mom was present, and she walked up there as well. And he turned us around, and it was just like, man, this guy right here is going to be a pastor, a preacher. And I just looked at him, and I'm like, bro, no, I'm not. Like that is not who I'm going to be. Again, I was 14. I was like, I don't know nothing about preaching or teaching, none of that stuff, or being a pastor at all, man. I could preach about cooking fried chicken. Like I can definitely teach you how to do something like
Well, if it come to eating, we can do this. Yeah.
I could definitely do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. So that's what it was. And so in my mind, basketball was my way out of the hood. That was my way of
Mm,
getting out of Detroit. And so, growing up where I grew up, like that's what it was. Like it was the murder capital of, the state, man. We was compared to Iraq at one point. And so it was a lot of stuff going on that my only mindset was to get out of the hood. And the best way that I could was basketball. Right. And so that was my whole mindset. And God had completely different plans. It was like the more I ran from him, the more I was running to him. And like every aspect of my life where I was trying to get away from the ministry, the more and more I was like asked to lead a Bible study, to, hey, can you do announcements? Can you pray for the church? Can you come with me to the hospital and pray and, be a leader for this group that's your age group, or, come speak to these adults. Like it was just every scenario that I kept running away from that just kept pulling me back. And it got to a point where the most bizarre thing, and I know we're, for time, but one of the things that really set me apart was me getting ready to go to a school to play basketball in Canada.
Mm,
And something weird happened, bro. Like we still today don't know, after doing some investigations and all this stuff, man. Something didn't work out with the whole transportation card or whatever you want to call it,
yeah,
like the passport or whatever. Like something didn't work out with it, and I have no idea what it was. And so, which led me to Asbury, and I got to
right,
Asbury, and my coach from Asbury, he knew that I was coming back because he had originally, offered me a full ride and all that stuff. And he's just like, hey man, I knew that you was gonna come back. Like I knew I was waiting for your call. And I had literally a week to get all my stuff together to move down to Kentucky because all my stuff was packed ready to go to Canada.
right,
And they had told me that I wasn't going to be able to go. And I was just like, man, what am I going to do? Like I had no
yeah,
idea what I was going to do. And I'm like, God, if you just, get me through to this, of course, making deals with God. And I was like, God, if you just get me through this, I promise I'll stop running. And
mm,
so, um, after that prayer, like it was a long drawn out prayer. After that prayer, like it was a voice, like it was just something said, hey, call Coach Shouts. And so I was, this is weird. Like, why would I call him? I haven't talked to him in months. Like, this is not gonna work out. Call him. And he picked up immediately. And his first words was, man, I've been waiting for your call. And I was just like,
yeah.
what? It was
What?
it
What
was
do you
so weird,
mean?
man. Yeah, like,
Yeah.
what do you mean? And so here I am coming from Detroit, Michigan to this hole in the wall place, Wilmore, Kentucky,
Mm-hmm.
where I'm used to seeing people that look exactly like me to rarely seeing anity that look like me. Like
No
it was
chocolate.
just so
There are no
no
chocolate
chocolate at
chips.
all.
Yeah,
At
no.
all, unless you went to the store to get a Hershey bar, like
Yeah,
that was it. And so yeah, man. So here I am in this place, man. Like it was just a lot going on, and I'm like, man, what is going on? And like it was me getting into a place where it was like a Jonah in a well situation where I was pulled away from my norm, sitting in this well and just waiting to see what God was going to do next. And man, that's when I just kept getting the pull, just kept getting the tug. And that deal that I made with God, he was like, all right, well, here you are. Now you have nothing, right? Like you
mm,
you don't have nothing to distract you from me. You don't have anything to keep you away. Here you are at this Christian school, which you don't know
mm-hmm.
a single soul, and now it's you and me. And yeah, he broke me, man. He broke me in a such a beautiful, unique way that took all the distractions away, and it was time for me to get down. And yeah, man, that's where I am. So 2016 is when I graduated, and I immediately went right into ministry. So yeah,
Yeah,
man.
man.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, you got to that last part, and I think that's just so real. Like there's something about like brokenness, right? And I know with you
Mm,
being in like student ministry and like doing that, like I know that that's like one of the things that like is probably brought up. Because I know that's the thing for me with college students is like,
mm,
God can do a lot more with somebody that's broken than somebody that's, got it all together. Like
exactly.
it's like that thing of when I can admit that I am insufficient and inadequate on
Mm,
my own. That means I
right.
can do a lot more together. And could
Mm,
you unpack that a little bit more for us?
yeah, yeah, man. Yeah, it was like a situation again when I was raised in a broken home. Like my
Mm,
mom raised three boys by herself.
man,
Again, in a city where murder, drugs was at the highest that it's ever been. So
yeah,
the statistics against me was either I was going to be dead or in jail, right? Or just, whatever I was going to be. And so coming from that, the whole mindset of seeing my mom fall to her knees and pray and the whole joke of putting me on drugs, and not the drugs that you don't normally see, not medication, but like she drugged me out of bed, drugged me in the
Yeah, I was about to
car
say
after
your
truck.
mama was a
You
real
know what I'm
drug
saying?
dealer.
Like the real drug dealer, right? Like Big Meech had nothing on her, right?
Man, I heard that phrase a couple of years ago, and I was like, "Dang, that's good right there." Like my mom was the OG. Like she drugged me
She was
here,
the
she drugged me there. Yeah, like yeah, that's real, man. That's real.
yeah, man. And so yeah, man. So that's where I was, and no matter what, like my mom kept me covered, in
Mm,
prayer and church and choir rehearsal and Bible study. Like I was just always within the church, man. And that was one of the things that just kept me just covered, right? And kept me
right.
focused on what was next. And so once I got done with that and like really focused on what God was doing there, of course it took
Mm,
me years to understand, right, where his hand was at in my life. But
mm,
looking at that and then seeing where he brought me from to where I am now today, even to school, even at Asbury, to Kentucky, that's just all the puzzle pieces that was just like brought together, that I was just like, man, this is crazy. Like God, you took a child from a fatherless home, that was a mom that was working three jobs, and only time would see her is 3 a.m. And I had to get up for school for the next 5 hours or whatever that looked like. And then she
yeah,
had to go back to work. And
yeah,
two older brothers that are 11 and 12 years older than I am, all from all different dads. All three of us had different dads. And so, but my mom, she grinded and just raised
yeah.
us. And, you know, here I am in this city where all this stuff is going on, but yet, God, you took me from this broken place. And what I thought was my saving grace, basketball,
Mm,
it was basketball that brought me closer to God, right? And I think
mm,
people kind of get confused with that sometimes, because man, God uses things and situations, jobs, people,
yeah,
to bring us closer to him, right? Because
yeah,
what's in place of him, what's sitting on our throne when it's not God, he tears that down, and he's like, all right, that's not basketball seat, that's my seat. Like remove that
mm,
out the way. Like I need to sit there. And that's what I had to do. It was like, man, this is not who my God is. Basketball is not my God. Like God, you're my God. And so, man, just the brokenness there, and just sitting with that and realizing like I didn't bring me from that to nothing, right? He brought me
mm,
from nothing to something.
mm,
And what you thought was nothing was more something than it was anything else. So,
yeah,
yeah, man, that's the beauty in it, bro.
yeah. No, that's good stuff, man. Yeah, and
Yeah.
gosh, I'll never forget. Like how me and Eric even like crossed paths. Like
Mm,
I was broken, for sure, and
yeah.
I mean still am, right? But like
Yeah. Yeah.
I was so broken going into my senior year of college. And that was Eric's first year at USM Wesley. And
Right.
I'll never forget, I was a cheerleader. And I mean, you know, as much as I couldn't see it, that kind of was my God, Yeah, I was an
Right.
intern and yeah, I was on leadership and I did all these things. But if cheer needed me to go do
Yeah.
something, I was there, you know?
Right.
And,
Right.
I mean, I ate, slept, breathed. Like, I mean, I would go to sleep with 8 counts in my heads.
Yeah.
I literally would be in my head, ready, five, five, six, seven, one. I mean, it was in me, right? And I coached it too, like, and that was the thing I thought I was gonna do. I thought I was gonna coach cheer before I, decided to go into ministry, and because
Yeah.
it was such a safe space for me that I felt like I
Mm,
could be like myself, right? I could be the goofy, the funny guy, and I also could be the competitor. I could be like this really good
exactly.
athlete and not feel like, well, this other person had not. This is my spot, and
Right.
because
Right.
literally in cheer, it is your spot. Like if you don't throw the stunt, if you don't get it up, the stunt doesn't get up. Like the
Yeah.
person, like
Yeah.
the girl does not go in the air and do all the cool tricks if you don't do your job. So for me, it was like, oh man, this is great. It is the individual effort that I have to put in, but it is the
Mm,
communal effort of being a team, right? And encouraging each other
mm,
and, lifting each other up literally and figuratively, and
right.
so really being in that, like, I mean, I found myself just, you know, putting that before everything. And then, when I was a resident, there was one point in time I was telling a student about this story the other day. It was like one day Eric was like, Albert, and I was like, huh? And like he literally catches me like mid stride, right? Like I'm like walking and I'm like,
Yeah,
he saw me. What's up?
yeah,
Come sit down, and it's like,
right.
you know,
Yeah.
and you sit down and that person just goes, "How are you?" Really, you know,
Mm, mm,
and it is sitting in that space, that we get to experience something truly profound. For you, like having to make that difficult decision of like, okay, not going to Canada, but now I'm going to Kentucky where ain't no chocolate chips, no chocolate morsels.
right.
you know, what do I do with this? And you find yourself somewhat in the belly of the well, or sometimes, as we like to put it, the pit, or even the wall, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
one of the things I was just bumping into was like, I knew I had this calling on my life, but I didn't want to be like
Hmm.
those preachers that I saw,
Hmm.
that I
Hmm.
encountered. And then I also didn't want to be like, my bio dad, who,
Hmm.
has been in ministry. And I was like, if that's a preacher, I don't want to be it. And so I had all these different things and
Yeah.
these different scripts that were in my head that were trying to write my story for me.
Mm,
And it wasn't until I acknowledged them and said, no, that's not my story. That's not
right.
what God's calling me to, or that's not what I want to do, by any means. So
Mm,
like for me, that was like a really huge turning point, because it allowed somebody to just see me and see me for who I
right.
am,
Right. See
and
you. Yeah. Yeah.
just sit in the brokenness too. So
Right.
yeah, I
Right.
feel you.
Yeah.
That's
That's
good stuff,
beautiful,
man.
man. It's beautiful. Yeah, bro. It's those are one of those things that you have to look at, man. Like I just did a message here recently of just like looking at your life and seeing where God has been, right? And
Hmm.
seeing like where his hand has been in
Yeah.
every situation in your life. Seeing the beauty and the blessings. And I was always told once that, you never want to forget your prayers that you've prayed,
Mm,
because, God brings the answer. He answers them, maybe not the way you want it, but it's the
right.
best way that it can be, right? And so
Mm,
when people are just like going through life, just kind of walking through life and just trying to see what's next, and the struggle and the pain and the darkness and all this stuff, man, it's a beautiful picture that's being created, right?
mm,
And it's like a painter, like that's the best way you can put it, is like a painter is immediately like you're looking at a painter and it's like all these scribbles and all these lines, and it's just like, man,
hmm.
what are they drawing
What
right
are they
now? Like
doing? Yeah.
that looks awful. Right? It looks awful. It comes out to be this beautiful picture. And I mean, and you look at it and you're just like, oh man, that like the picture of a Grand Canyon looks like the actual Grand
Yeah.
Canyon, right? And it's
Right.
just the beauty in that, man. I think that's what God does with our stories. It's like, man, it's all these lines and these scribbles and all these jagged edges and all this stuff that's being put on paper and on a canvas. Now it's becoming a beautiful work of art,
Mm,
but you just got to be patient with the artist, right? You got to be
right.
patient with the artist. And so I think that's what's brought, like Eric, for example, man. Eric is just a godsend for a lot of people, man. And I know especially
Yeah.
for me and you, like that was just a situation where like God knew what he was doing when he brought Eric in our lives.
Mm,
Like, and right when we were on the cusp of, all right, God, here I am now. All right, now
hmm.
what's next in my spiritual walk?
Yeah.
And it was like, all right, I got somebody for you here.
I
Here's
got
this
just the dude for you.
got the just do for you, man. Here it is, Eric. Eric from
Hmm.
from Mississippi. He got you, right? And
Yeah.
so and loved and showed what a pastor's supposed to look like. And he got me before he was in ministry. So he was well, so I'm kind of jealous of you, bro. Like he was already in ministry when he got a hold of you, but
Yeah.
here he was, man, in school, and I was in school, and we just got together and just worked it through there. So it's just like people like that, man, that we have to really give flowers to, but also pay
For sure.
attention. Like, man, God sent that person
Yeah.
in this part in this life of mine, because this part of life, because man, this is what I've known and this is what I've been
Mm,
a part of and this is what I'm accustomed to. and
right.
now God is bringing somebody new in. So it's
Yeah,
beautiful.
yeah. No,
Yeah.
definitely. I give him his flowers all the time. He goes, "Shut up." Uh,
Yeah.
it's like true.
Yeah.
Whatever. I don't know about all that, but anyway,
Right.
I'm like,
Yeah.
no, you're gonna accept my love and affection, okay?
And yeah, whether you like
Um,
it or not.
Not yeah. I'll never forget. There's this one story. Like I literally was like, "Hey man, I love you." You know, like we're in the office. This is when we're working together, and I was like, "Hey man, I love you." And he goes, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, love you too."
Yeah.
And one of the students walked. They're like, "You told someone you loved them? Eric has a heart." It's like the funniest
That's
thing because
crazy.
it's like, you just see this stoic, like very like, cool, calm, collective. And, like, and it doesn't help
Yeah.
that, he has blue eyes. So he's like, he always has like this piercing face, right?
Just
Like it's
pierce.
just
Yeah.
like locked in. Whatever he's doing, he just always looks locked in. And
Right.
so to hear him say that, and I'll never forget when he started giving people hugs, I was like, you
Yeah.
giving hugs
Like,
now?
man.
And he was like, I've gotten better. Okay, Albert. Like, don't do like,
Right. Right.
yeah, yeah. But that's my boy though. That's my dog. I
Yeah.
bother him at least once a week.
Yeah.
You
Got
know.
to. Got to. Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
man. Like, so I guess with that, how would you say like camaraderie or brotherhood or discipleship? Like, you know, how has that encouraged you to continue when times get hard? Because like somebody could, like I see it all the time. Like somebody could see you now and be like, "Man, but you're successful, and you got this and you got that." How has like building community over the years, like how has that like helped you that people know what like they know who you are and they know what to say to you when you're in
Mm.
those times.
Yeah, yeah, man. It's crazy, bro, because for the longest time, like I never had a counselor, never had anybody like that. I had
Mm,
mentors and people that poured
yeah,
into my life, but it took me a while to realize, man, that I can't be doing this alone, right? I
yeah,
can't be. Of course, I have my wife who's great.
right.
She's a soldier, bro, like
Mm-hmm.
just strong and just beautiful
Mm,
inside and out, and the way God has just used her brain and to encourage me to be the best version of myself. And of course, like that's, I don't want to put all that weight on her, right? And
yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
bringing a brotherhood into it and like building relationships with people.
Right.
I found that that's important. I mean, you have to look at Jesus's life. Like
Mm,
it was a reason why he got all those disciples. Like, it's easy for him to be like, oh man, I got this by myself, right? I can do
mm,
this by myself. I can go on and do these miracles, and whoever believes, believes, and who don't, right? And so
mm,
he went and got every person from every aspect of life, and people that didn't get along with each other, people that hated each other, and they still were together, right? And still had different views of life and all those things. And Jesus was like, no, we're going to come together, and we're going to bond, and we're going to love each other, and we're going to do this together.
yeah,
And and I think that's what we have to look at, and that's what I've done here, especially in the last, I would say, 5 years of my life
yeah,
in ministry, is finding those group of guys that like I can call on, I can text when I'm struggling with something, man, when I
mm,
need some advice on something.
yeah,
um Man, I got a guy right now that's like so like deep into his prayer, and like
mm,
the way that he just breaks down into prayer, and man, just prays for me
yeah,
is one of the most amazing things. And I'm like, okay, I mean, that's what I need. And I got somebody
yeah,
that's 10 times more smarter than I am when it comes to the Bible. And like, that's one
yeah,
thing that I learned from my current pastor right now, Andrew Brown at Grace Christian. He
mm,
is so good at that, where he's taught me, he was like, man, I always make sure I'm the dumbest person in the room. Like, I'm always
facts.
like that. And
Yeah, yeah,
so, and I mean, it doesn't take that much for me at all.
mm-hmm. Yeah,
But I make sure that that's what I do, man. I got a
yeah,
lot of smart people, a lot of people that are just into the word and believing and knowing God, uh and I realize how huge that is, man, because it's you
mm,
can't do this journey alone. I mean, in
no,
ministry or not in ministry, right? Like
yeah,
you
yeah,
have to
just in
have,
life.
yeah, yeah, man. You have to have those people that you can trust. Like that's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So what
man.
would you say to somebody that's watching this? Because, I think what's interesting that, whereas like my podcast is not explicitly Christian, it is
Exactly.
like that you
Yeah.
you know exactly who I am because I'm not gonna hide that from you because I would be
Right.
doing a disservice if I was being like, oh no, I'm not like no, I'm literally a minister, bro.
Yeah.
Like I am
Yeah.
reverend,
Yeah.
right? Like even though I don't like to
Right.
talk a lot about them, like I had a student go, "Hi, Reverend Albert," and I was like, please no 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 please don't do that don't do that I'm just Albert, okay, like I thank you, I appreciate you, I appreciate you acknowledging who I am and
Yeah.
my title and all of, but please just call me Albert. It's just like just call me Albert. But
Right.
what
Right.
how would I guess like how would you talk to that person that is listening or watching this, like why do they need community, like in terms of like, okay, I'm this regular Joe
Yeah.
Blow and, I work my 9 to 5 or I work my, night shift. Like, why is that important for them?
Yeah, man. I mean, uh, so this is just this the person that don't believe in Jesus, don't believe
Oh, no.
in that, man. This is a person. If you look at your life right now, man, and you see where you are, like when it comes to work, when it comes to your family, even if you don't have a family, right? If you're
Mm,
just a single person,
yeah.
man, the way that the world is going right now when it comes to technology, and it's very easy to pick up the phone and look at it, and look on
Mm-hmm.
videos, TikTok, Instagram, whatever that may look like. It's becoming more and more isolated,
Mm,
and we're not made for that. Like
right.
that's not the way that we were created. Whether you believe God created us or not, like just in our science being, like the way that we are created, man, we are made to be together with
Mm-hmm.
someone, right? And even if that's two people, I mean, Jesus, he had the three, right? And so, like, we have to find those people that we can trust, that we can lean on when times are
Yeah.
hard, right?
Right.
When you need somebody to talk to for advice, when you need some advice on life situations, and life is hard, and I need to call my brother. Man, I'm lonely. All I'm doing is sitting here playing the game and just watching TV, not talking to nobody. I need to go hang out with my boy or hang
Yeah.
out with my sister, to lean on them
Right.
as much as you can, right? And it's
Yeah.
like the whole thing of like your eyes, right? They see, right?
Mm-hmm.
And your eyes can't do what the nose can, right? And
Mm-hmm.
the nose can't do what the mouth can, and the ears can't do what the brain can. And so when you looking at your physical body, you see that there's different aspects of your body, and just like that, that's how you need in community. Man, you may not be great at your finances, but man, my boy Tim, he's great at finances. Like I need to go holler at him and see how I can sit with him and just pick his brain. Man,
Mm-hmm.
I suck at relationships. Man, my my guy over here, he's been married for 30 plus years. I need to go find out the ins and outs, like the failures and the successes in marriage. And so it's important, man. It's really important, regardless of where you're at in life. Community is huge. It's
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that is so huge. Yeah, and then like I can't remember if you said that like just in this thing or like before, but like the being the dumbest in the room, like that's so real.
Yeah,
Like, it's like
yeah,
surrounding people that are more knowledgeable than me, that have more
mm,
experience, more expertise, or maybe they're just calmer than I am,
right.
because I can
Yeah,
find myself being a little hot headed, right?
yes,
And and I find that my inner monologue is a lot more angry than like my external processing.
yep, yep, yep.
Like
With you, bro.
yeah, yeah, and I was just telling my mom earlier, like I was kind of talking about this before this. Like, I had to just let it out.
Hmm.
You have to have people that can just hold that space for you sometimes, just in community,
Hmm.
whether if it's
Yeah.
Christian or non-Christian. You know,
Hmm.
I think like the biggest thing is like, yeah, you can't do life alone because that isolation and that feeling of loneliness, it's not something that you can just, wish away. It is not
At all.
something that you could like, ignore. It is something that you actively have to work on. And if you don't, it will feel worse. It feels like the
Hmm.
the hole gets deeper and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so much further away from people. And so I think
Hmm.
us, I think to some extent, we also have to allow ourselves to go that way.
Hmm.
It's the thing that I've recognized in myself, of like, okay, if I'm like, especially with being in ministry, I find myself being very like, my circles get much smaller because I
They
can't
got to.
I can't be fully friend. Like I can be, relational, right? But I can't,
Right.
it's not like how I can call up Eric and be like, look, bro, this is what's going on right now. I can't do that with my students, like definitely can't
Right.
do that with them. I can't really do that with other parishioners or people I bump into that like need me to be they actually need me to be Pastor Albert or
Hmm.
like campus minister or director or whomever, right? That kind of Albert. And
Yeah.
because of that, if I don't find a good balance or harmony like in my life with
Hmm.
the people that can speak into it and go, hey man, you might be overdoing this, or hey, you might be overthinking this, or hey, actually you need to shape up, like if I don't have like those folks in my life that can, do that, my brain becomes like a silo.
Hmm.
It's not even an echo chamber. An echo chamber is dangerous, but a silo is even more because it is that one continuous loop like going around in your
Hmm.
head. And I think for us, like it is so important that we have community, we have friends, that we have people that we can turn to because mad days coming is the
But yeah.
expression that me and my mom talk about, and me and Kat, my wife, will talk about. It's like mad day is coming. There's gonna be a day
Hmm.
about like the
Yeah. Yeah.
and like what I'm trying to think of the phrase. It was like uh King Kong ain't got nothing on this.
Yeah.
That day's coming, and you
Right.
need
Right.
somebody that
Right.
can talk you from jumping
Ledge.
off the
Yeah.
building and laying into somebody,
Yes, man.
and
Seriously.
like that's what's so needed.
Yeah. Yeah, man. And like to your point too, man. I feel like I haven't spoke to this at all. Too is I mean, there are people that are complete introverts, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
they don't like people,
Right.
and I don't blame them. Like people
Yeah.
suck. Like
Yeah.
like it. That's just what it is.
So,
People suck. That's just what it is, right? And so, and it's hard, man. Trust is such a hard thing to do. Like to
mm,
trust
mm,
people,
yeah.
and it's such a cliche thing, but taking that leap of faith, or taking that leap to be vulnerable, taking that leap to say, I'm gonna put my introvertness to the side, I'm gonna put my isolation to the side,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna take that step and get to know one person super well, right, and real well, and get to know them and love them, and pick their brain and see what their life is like and
Right.
how I can compare it. So to that introvert, man, just take that next step. Like I know it sucks, it's hard, and when you don't want to, that's when I found the most fruit is when you don't want to do something and then you
Yeah.
say, like, I
I'm gonna do
need
it.
to do this,
Yeah.
man, it's like you come back so much better, right? You become the best version of yourself when you step out of your comfort zone. And
Right.
so, man, so to that introvert, like just keep doing that. Like step out of your comfort zone and just do it. Just do it.
Yeah. Man. Yeah.
Yeah.
No. And it's like to some extent, I'm tired of growing, Grandpa, because it's like I think like for somebody like myself, I keep getting in like uncomfortable positions, like uncomfortable
Hmm.
situations because that's what it requires of me, like I have to
Yeah.
do this. I don't want to do this, but I have to do this in order to get the goal, right? To,
Hmm.
if we're talking about like a race or anything, in order for me to cross that finish line or in order for
Hmm.
me to, finish the game, right? Whatever analogy you want to use, in order for me to do the thing, I've got to first, start. And then I've got to keep putting one foot in front of the other and just trusting that sooner or later I'll get to where I want to go. But, it
Right.
is that leap of faith. And, if you watch Into the Spider Verse, it's and Miles is, sitting there on top of the Empire State Building, and it's like, "What's up,
Yeah.
danger?" And he jumps off, and there's like that really cool cinematic scene. But that's really what it
Yeah.
feels like. It's like
Yeah.
you don't
Yeah.
know what you're capable of until you take that leap. And sooner or later,
Right.
you might actually find yourself being a lot more thrilled with the ride, but you
Yeah.
first got to start.
Yeah. You gotta start, man. That's where it's at. And it's so cliche, but it's real. It's truth to
Yeah.
it, man. And so much fruit can come from it, man. And like
Mm,
I'm always preaching, man. You want to be the best version of yourself, and you need to find the people that's going to help you get there. Like no
yeah.
matter what that looks like.
Yeah.
And like when you become the best version of yourself, that's when you can thrive, and that's when you
Mm,
can be successful in the things that you want to do because you are surrounding yourself with the people that's making you the best version of yourself. You're learning the best way you can to be the best version of yourself, and you're stepping out of your comfort zone to be the best version of
mm,
yourself.
yeah.
And so you want to continue to do that as much as possible.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
definitely. And it's like that thing of feel like we also need to highlight just super quick. Sometimes your 100% is going to be 20.
it is. I
Sometimes
love
the
that.
best you can give is what you can give that day. I think a lot of
Mm,
times we get in this society of, man, I got to give my 100%, but like you said, like,
yeah,
whatever's going to help, whoever's going to help you be your best. Sometimes your best is not the best that you want to be at, but it is the best that you can offer.
yeah, exactly,
And
man.
if I can consistently offer the best that I have that day, sooner or
Hmm.
later I'm gonna be able to offer 100%,
For
because
sure, for sure.
I'm working my way up to it because it's like you can't walk into the gym and hit your 100% max every single time.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
you got to
yeah,
work percentages. If I
yeah,
walk in that bad
yeah.
boy and go, man, just throw 305 on that bad boy. Whew,
Like,
I'm
who
not.
do you want me to do that? Yeah,
What where are we, what, like, am I putting it on the rack? I could put it on the rack, like, oh, I
yeah,
have
I
to
can do
lift
that.
it. Like, oh, I beg your
Nah,
pardon. Yeah,
nah.
I'm good. And so like working through that is like, I think, and then also our expectations of others, it's like
Mm,
I can't expect someone else to give 100% every single day. I can expect them to give the best of their 20 or the best of their 30, their 40, their 50. And as long as they're being present and authentic, and earnest in that, that is what matters, not
right,
the
right.
I'm gonna go give this facade of somebody and I am cracking underneath the surface and I am not admitting
Yeah,
my brokenness like we talked about earlier, like
yeah,
we
yeah,
have to
yeah, man.
be honest.
Yeah, yeah, man. And that's the thing, man. I know I'll bring my wife up again. I've
Yeah.
known both of us, like it's days where, dealing with our kids or
Mm-hmm.
having a tough work week or whatever that
Yep.
looks like.
Yep.
And I'm bringing 20%, but she's got that 80 for
She
me.
got 80.
She got
Praise be to
80.
God.
And so, and like I'm meeting and I'm meeting her right there and look at us thriving,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
we're being being the best we can, right? And pushing forward. It's like, oh man, you picked me up today. I got
Mm.
you, I got you 80 tomorrow.
Yeah.
What you need? 90? Oh, I
Yeah.
got you. Like
I
I got
got
you
you.
for that
Yeah.
tomorrow. And that's important for community, bro. Like you're not gonna, like you say, you're not gonna show up 100 every day. But man, if you can call on your boy, you call on your sis, and
Yeah.
like you hit them up and you be like, hey, listen, man, this is what I'm operating on today. I
Yeah.
need you to get me. I
Yeah.
need your help, right?
Yeah.
And so it's huge.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, look, it is okay to break up your wife because he who findeth a wife findeth a good thing, right? Uh,
Hey, don't get the preaching on here, bro.
hey,
Don't get
look, because I mean, I'm so thankful for Kat because, like, man, like that's like the days that like I'm done, pack it up,
hmm
I'm done. Like I'm sick of this.
hmm
Like I'm gonna find something else to do. She goes, well, what else you gonna do?
right. Like just shut up. Just shut up.
Like
Just let me be, right?
I didn't need you to be right. Like, why did you have to bring that up? Yeah. Or it's like,
Right.
well, like, honey, isn't your goal to see this? How are you gonna do that
Yeah,
if like maybe you need to have that hard conversation. That's what she's always done. Maybe
bro.
it sounds like you need to go do this because the more you wait on it, because I'm the person of, well, let's be patient, let's be guys. She goes, it's enough time of you being patient. You need to go do something about it. And it's like, this
All
aggressive little
right.
white woman did not just tell me, and why is she right? Why is she
Right.
right? But that's, I mean, we need that, whether it is a spouse or it's community, just that person. Sometimes it is that. All right. Message
Yep.
received.
Yep.
I
I got it.
understand. I
You got
understand
nothing
it now.
else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
so yeah,
Yeah,
it's
man.
gosh, it's so important, and I think it's so good. Well, as we round it out, and we kind of shift gears and move towards the end. What are some thoughts or maybe some questions that for me?
Yeah, man. And so I know that again, this isn't the ministry side of things, bro, but if you can say right now, what is your hardest part of ministry right
Yeah, man. I preached a sermon last night on Matthew 13, 1 through 9, right? Talking about the different
now?
types of soil because we're in the parable chapter.
Yeah,
We're in a parable series, and talking about those different types of soil, the rocky, the thorny, the shallow, and then the good, right?
right.
One of the things I said, if Jesus is truly the good gardener, we got to let him till, we got to let
Mm,
him do that work in us. And so one of the questions I had for the students was, where is God trying to grow you right now? And
mm,
for me, I can't, I mean, it's just a thing. I told one student, I can't help smart people.
yeah,
I cannot help smart people because I'm too
yeah,
stupid. Like we were talking
yeah.
about, like, I'm too stupid. I am too dumb. And obviously, you are too smart for me to help you because you got it all figured
Mm,
out. I don't need your help, Albert. And for me, the hardest part is having to concede and go, you're exactly right. I can't help you
mm,
because
mm,
everything inside of me is like, I know what to do. I know how to help you get where you need to go. And if we do this, it doesn't have to be all right now, but if we can just make a couple of steps, do this. And I'm thinking like
yeah.
long term of how to, like, if we just do this, if we can just start right here and get there. And they're like, well, I don't want that. That's not what they're saying, but that's what their
Yeah.
actions are showing. And it's like that thing of, you know, I remember working with Eric, and there was a situation, similar to this, and he was just like, Albert, they've already shown you who they are and what they want. Don't make them be
Mm,
somebody they're not.
mm,
And
yeah,
so
yeah,
I have to live with that. They've already told me
yeah.
what they want, and I can't fix it. And not in a fixer kind of way, but I can't even hold space because they don't want me to hold space. They want
Mm-hmm.
me to just not.
Right.
Yeah. So
Yeah, yeah. That's huge, man. That's huge, bro. Like that's so real because the same exact way of your message of tilling and like which way is God is growing you, uh,
mm,
and especially being in ministry, those are the things that it's a constant, it's an everyday thing, right?
mm,
It's a thing of looking widely, right?
mhm.
It's bird's eye view of everything and seeing what is God doing over here in this section? What is God doing
Yeah,
in this section?
right.
And how can I bring those things together? But not for me, not because of me, but because this is what's building the kingdom,
Yeah.
right? And when there's people that's within it that seem like they know it all and
Mm,
like they're doing a pushback and they're doing all this other stuff, it
yeah,
makes it difficult. It makes it
right.
difficult to try to do that, right? And because you don't
Yeah.
want to, the house of God is not divided, right? The kingdom of God
Mhm,
is not divided. And so you want to bring as much unity as you can to it. And you come across some hellions, man. Like it's
mhm,
just sometimes you come across some demons that
mhm,
just trying to tear it apart, man. And so it's like how can you continue to be you and grow it as much as
mm.
possible? So
Yeah,
yeah, that's huge.
yeah, no, definitely. Well, look, man, I've
Yeah.
truly enjoyed this. Truly enjoyed being
Yeah,
able
man.
to
It's
sit and
good.
talk with you and chop it up, and I
Yeah,
hope
man. I
that you
appreciate you
guys have
having me
enjoyed
on.
this. Yeah, no, definitely, definitely. And I tell people, look, we can always do a round two, so don't worry. We'll
Hey,
we'll we'll catch you. We'll come back around too.
hey, man. You just let me know, man. I'm here. I'm here.
Say less. Say less. Well, look, I hope you guys enjoy this, and we'll see you next time. So be good, y'all. Peace over here, Grease.